Hi everyone, welcome back to Training Time. Today I'm going to be reading weird roleplay experiences. I feel like I have to say too, these are going to be very weird stories. I did ask for weird roleplay stories and you guys really came through, so I actually think I want to train Stanley. You guys were telling me there's a special marking on this pony. There it is, it's a half moon. So I think I'm actually gonna change the mane because I think I might do braids because I really think the marking is super cute and I just want to see it all the time. This pony actually looks so much cuter when you can see the marking, so thank you guys for telling me that there's a cute marking on this pony. This is such an RBF face. Okay, we're just gonna ignore that. This pony's name is Sweetheart, no RBF here. I feel like I have to start with my own weird roleplay stories. I joined this game when I was 12 years old, and when I joined, I did not know what role-playing was. I had no idea that people played roles on this game, did summer camps and whatever you do. There's a million things that people do on this game, okay? My first role-playing experiences actually were really good. They weren't weird or anything, and I made a lot of friends doing that too. Basically, you just scream, "Oh yeah, summer camp at the manor," and we'd all sleep in the wine cellar and stuff, and it wasn't... What did my pony just do? I just hopped a fence. I have friends still, even though we don't roleplay on this game anymore, even though they might not even play this game anymore, we're still friends. I have to pause because I guess I can't even say I don't roleplay anymore because I make realistic roleplay videos sometimes. I mean, I haven't in months, but that's technically still roleplaying, so I can't say, oh yeah, I never roleplay. That's a lie. So then after the summer camps, I made a group of friends and we were really close, and every day we would log on after school and do wild roles. We had a whole storyline going. It was very detailed, very in-depth, and we would continue it every single day. Our horses, they would get pregnant. Sometimes we would do human and horse, where our wild horses would get caught and trained and stuff, and it was just a whole story. For my weirdest stories, there was one time I joined this wild role, and one of my friends in the club I was in also happened to be in the same role. And there was this girl who was playing a mare. It was a wild role. I don't know what I was doing because I hated wild roles. So I don't even know why I joined it because I hated them. So it was at the Fort Pinta Lighthouse beach area. And it's the beach that also has the Dark Core ships on it and stuff. And this girl was in the corner of the beach. And she kept yelling, "I'm bleeding, I'm bleeding, I'm bleeding out." And we were all confused. I'm spilling tea all over myself, and I sound like I have a toad in my throat already. Why am I gonna do missions? Oh, I guess it's 500 horse XP. So we were all confused, everybody in the role. Everybody was mostly just ignoring her and doing their own thing, like saying, "Eats grass, eats rocks," well, not that, but whatever we were doing. So then this one girl, her horse, was playing a stallion, and she came over, well, I should say the stallion came over and was saying, "Oh my god, there's blood everywhere, we need to call the vet." This wild horse is going to get on the phone and call the vet. This is going to be interesting. Well, the girl wouldn't stop yelling that she was bleeding out, and people were just really weirded out at this point in the role, and they started leaving because it was getting super annoying that she kept yelling in caps in the chat, "Bleeds all over sand, bleeds all over grass, bleeds all over self." And it turned out that it was just her way of saying that she wanted the stallion to breed with her horse. And meanwhile, everyone was just confused and didn't know what to think and just didn't get it. I mean, understandably didn't get it because it didn't make sense. There was another time when my starter horse was pregnant. This was when I was 13 years old and had the friend group that we would log on every day and continue our storyline and everything with each other. And I got into a huge fight with the people because one of them played the vet, and she made it so when my horse was giving birth, my horse's foal died. I said, I don't like this anymore, and went shopping for clothes and tack. And then we were just pissed off at each other for days. And she was saying, you're just not making it realistic, Violet. I remember crying too, because we took this very seriously. We were very dedicated to this storyline and creating this. There was another time when I was just hanging out on the game and someone in the club chat started freaking out because she said she found a farm role under the Silverglade Castle, and this was when the castle wasn't updated yet, and there were some glitches where you could get yourself underneath the castle, and there was a little area where people would go hide and stuff. So I went to the castle and did the glitch myself, and sure enough, there was a breeding farm going on, probably with a bunch of 12-year-olds screwing around. The last story I have is I joined a wild role. In this group, they already had too many mares, so they wanted me to play a stallion to make it more even. And they said I could only join if I was going to play a stallion. So I agreed, but I was pissed off that I had to be a stallion. So then I hid in, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm having issues and I only need 2 more and I'm about to lose. So that's really, really nice. This is why I don't do missions. I was all pissed off, and so I went and hid in the bushes with my quote-unquote stallion. This was in the Everwind Fields. This was before it was updated. They had this brambly area with a bunch of bushes in it. Even though in the beginning of roles, you say who you are. You say whether you're a mare or a stallion. You say your name. You say, stuff about your horse, etc. So even though we had said all of our names and who we were, and even though I said I would play a stallion, this one person thought I was a mare for some reason, even though the person who started this role clearly said I had to be a stallion. I said I was a stallion in the beginning. I don't think she was really paying attention. And so this person got really mixed up, and so she took her stallion, brought her stallion over to mine, who was in the bushes, and started hitting on my horse, and just majorly being all like, knickers sweetly, so me being a complete troll, I pretended to fall in love with this stallion, with my stallion, and then 10 minutes later, the stallions were grooming each other and all this horsey stuff, and finally I broke the news to her by asking, "Oh, you're a mare, right?" and playing stupid. They typed out the weird eyeballs face with a ... and said, "Oh, I'm a stallion. I thought you were a mare." And I said, "No, I've been a stallion this entire time. I thought you were the mare." And then they got really embarrassed and ran away. That's enough of my roleplay stories. Now I'm gonna start reading yours. The first one says, "My weirdest Star Stable roleplay? Oh boy, you're in for a treat. So, my friend and I absolutely love hosting quote-unquote normal roleplays and then making epic plot twists. I had the brilliant idea to host a roleplay where the main characters are snowed in their home stable. So we gathered 3 more people, set our normal roles, and began. Everything was smooth and totally normal until one of the girls realized we have absolutely no food to eat. When I mentioned that we should simply eat our horses, she magically found a random stash of canned vegetables, hoping she wouldn't have to eat her horsey. How lucky! After I told her that I only eat meat, my friend and I started taking our horses into the quote-unquote freezer, the wash area that was decorated for Christmas 2020. We turned them into horse popsicles and looked away. Delicious. The 2 other girls left the group without saying anything, and the girl who found the vegetables started getting really scared. She said that she was crying and would have nightmares. I'm pretty sure she was 9, so that's unfortunate. Anywho, we ditched her and left her in the stable with the remains of the frozen horses. That girl, she should have just left right then and there. If something's creeping you out like that, just leave. Just log off or run away. You don't have to stay in something if you're really uncomfortable. One time I was in a role play and all the people that were in it were very nice and friendly, so I made my horse a little cranky and there was this huge fight with my horse and this other horse. We were fighting and well, he smashed me against the fence, hurting the horse badly, so I made my rider go in and try to stop the horse from killing her, but the girl made her horse invincible, so I got into the drama and made my rider get a tranquilizer and the horse. Later, my poor rider got smacked on the face so many times and got thrown into the river. This was at the bridge by Starshine in Valedale. I say Valedale wrong, sorry. It ended of my rider getting powers and saving everyone. I instantly logged out help. Okay. That sounds really interesting. One time I was just riding around doing nothing and a girl wrote in Global, "Hey, if you're interested in joining a role, come to Moorland." So I went. There were like 20 people there, so I stayed and it started. It all started fine, I guess. Getting horses from Grandpa, training them, going shopping. But then we started to play something else, which was kind of like spin the bottle, but this time was spin the horse. One person had to close its eyes and spin, then when it stopped, the head of the horse had to be spotted in one of us, and that person had to confess something, and after a few confessions, it started to get really weird, and well, let's say I could not sleep for a few days because of that. I had a similar experience with a club where we were playing Truth or Dare, but in Global, and I thought it was really fun, but then somebody wanted Dare from me, and I gave them dares and they would never do them. They weren't even that bad. I once was role-playing with one of my friends and this other girl came over and asked to role-play with us. We agreed. It was normal at first, but then she started making the roleplay super creepy and weird. She would say things like, "throws saddle into the river," or writes in diary, "I think I may have to end my barn mate soon." I think they're on to me. It really creeped us out, and she always wrote diary entries and made them sound like she was going to kill us. She didn't mention that her character was going to be mentally unstable either. Extra part you don't need. Oh, okay. Me and my friend ended up taking the trailer to another area and finished the roleplay. She found us a while later and demanded why we left. My voice is cracking so bad. She found us a while later and demanded why we left her and made her horse stomp on us. We decided to log off after she went crazy and set the barn on fire. She was actually really amazing at role-playing. It was just her lines and how she said things that creeped us out. It's people like that who would probably become really good writers. I'm just saying, in my experience, people who are really good at role-playing are also really good at writing. Probably my weirdest role-playing experience on SSO was back in 2015 when I was only 12 at the time. I'm 99% sure the person I was role-playing with was a little crazy because they tried to summon a demon in the spiral where we can go to the hidden place in Valedale. I was terrified from then on, and whenever I got a quest that needed me to use the spiral, I would freak out until I realized that the spiral demon was not real. Needless to say, I was very gullible and let my imagination get the best of me. You know, I don't blame you for being scared of something. You know, I have been scared of things on this game being older too. So I don't blame you for that. I was in Moorland and pretending to train in the Bobcats arena, and this creepy lady kept saying, "Your feet." And I was confused, so I ran away. And then they followed and kept saying, "Let me smell your toes." And it was very creepy, so I changed servers, because why not? And then I was in the Silverglade arena, and guess what? She was there saying, "I will never leave you, your feet are good." So I reported them and changed servers, and they never came back. This was 2 years ago. Okay, well, good on you for changing servers. I mean, at that point, if there's somebody weird going around, that's, you know, you can ignore them too. I mean, you don't actually have to switch servers, but if switching servers away from them or whoever they're with makes you feel more comfortable, then do that. I was doing a roleplay with 2 girls, and one of them was super self-centered and made herself the quote-unquote best rider, which me and the other girl didn't like. So the other girl said she had to get another saddle from her home stable, but instead she came back to the riding arena. She had dressed in all black and changed horses to the black and orange orange Winefell horse and pretended to be Galloper Thompson, and for about 10 minutes she chased us around the area. A roleplay I will never forget. I guess that's one way to be the best rider. Is Galloper Thompson really the best rider? He's more like the scariest rider in the game. Someone in Global asked if anyone wanted to roleplay with her, so I said yes, and the first 5 minutes were just good. Then she suddenly asked me to marry her. We knew each other like 5 minutes or so. I said no, and we continued the roleplay. 2 minutes later, she asked it again. So again, I said, I'm gonna fail the that's not what she said. 2 minutes later, she asked it again. So again, I said no. Then she became very mad and said that she would hack me. I put her on ignore. Well, that's good. See, this person did the right thing. They put the person on ignore. Because if someone's bothering you, the first thing you can do is just put them on your ignore list. Yesterday, actually, I was doing a roleplay and this girl called Stephanie joined it and started trying to my horses. After a while of her doing weird stuff, I asked my friends, and apparently she has been doing weird stuff in roleplays a lot on my server. When it's an online game or something, when you actually have a block button online or an ignore button, it's probably best to use it. I asked this group of people to roleplay because I was bored. Halfway through the roleplay, it was actually going great, and I actually liked it, and out of the blue, one of them says, "Cut for a sec, guys. I have an idea. Maybe Abby, me, has a bad accident and slips off a cliff and everyone else is in on it. Safe to say, I don't think they liked me." I hope you found a group of nicer people because, you know, I hope they were just joking. I'm sure they were, but, you know, I hope you find some nicer people. Once my friend and I decided to roleplay with a girl. She was acting really odd, but we decided to continue roleplaying. She kept trying to mate with my horse and she wouldn't leave me alone, so I ran away and she chased me yelling, "Applejack, I love you, come back!" Wasn't a fun experience. The funniest thing about that is the horse's name, Applejack. What the heck? I joined a realistic roleplay. In the ad, it said it was a working hunter class, so I was like, okay, and joined. 2 people started pretending to do the dirty and saying, "Let's have kids and have some fun tonight." So I sat here like, surprised face, and I said, "So when's the class gonna start?" I soon left. Well, that's really false advertisement. Nobody but me and one other was experienced. We decided to do a riding academy / cross-country roleplay. Picture this, 4 to 5 random kids crying out for help that their stupid horse couldn't jump a log because of an imaginary wolf. That went on for 3+ hours. I haven't roleplayed since. Okay, it seems like they were really getting into it, but staying at one jump for 3 hours, that doesn't sound like much fun, actually. But maybe it was, you know, maybe they enjoyed it. I joined a roleplay and instantly another person got off their horse and crouched by my horse's hooves. Then they said, "Sorry, I have a hoof fetish." They sat there for a good 5 minutes saying stuff like, "Yum, your hoofs are cute." Then I decided to run away. I know someone too who has a hoof fetish. I actually know multiple people, so I think it really is a thing. You know, I know a lot of people who are really interested in hooves, but, you know, not to that point, actually. I went to a friend to roleplay thinking it was a human realistic one. I went there and started the roleplay, realized it was a Rome one, and quit. 1 hour later, I came back on, and my friend was right in front of me with an Idris mask on. She asked to continue the roleplay. I actually did not know until filming this video today that Rome role meant romance role. For some reason, I always thought Rome meant you would go in a field and do like a wild role, but it would be like roaming around, you know, in the field or like through areas or something. Because I thought, you know, the way it's spelled, I thought they meant roaming, you know, like roaming around. I've been playing this game for such a long time and I did not even know that. And almost every day in Global, I've seen, oh, Rome roll. Those are all of the submissions that I'm going to be reading. There were a lot of interesting submissions, and I wish I could have read a lot more of them because there were a lot of good ones, and I appreciate that you guys submitted your experiences. I also hope you guys are being careful on this game. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Bye.